Here's our poem of the day. It is called Home and the Homeless by Elizabeth Woody. Elizabeth Woody is part of the Warm Springs tribe here in Oregon. And I thought it'd be interesting for you all to know that we in Beaverton live on land that is the Kalapuyan land. And you can learn more about Native Oregonians by clicking this link here. It is always important, I think, to know our history, and me not being from Oregon, I kind of took some time this summer to learn all about Oregon's history and what is happening both now and in the past. So click on that if you are interested in learning more. I'm going to read this to you and then we'll write together. The buildings are worn, the trees are strong and ancient. They bend against the grid of electric lines. The windows are broken by the homeless in the cold past. I am home on the yard that spreads mint, pales the Victorian roses, takes into it the ravaged lilac trees. The black bulk of plastic lies about stopping unwanted weeds for the landlords. Tattered, the cedar tree is chipped to dry heaps of recklessness. The unwanted spreads by the power of neglect. The wear of traffic says that we are out of time, must hurry. Age, the creak in the handmade screen door fades behind itself. So I have over here to notice the mood that the author creates with their diction, and the diction is the word choice. So you see the word homeless, which has a negative connotation, worn, grid, broken, ravaged, tattered heap. This should say homeless. And then there's also, though, these light and nature-centered words like mint, roses, lilac, cedar, right? That talks of home. So when you put those things together, these positive and negative ideas, or these things that don't fit, it's called juxtaposition. And I went and had linked it there and you can click on it. The literary terms will pop up. It's just a placement of two or more things together that don't quite make sense. So all's fair in love and war, right? Love and war are opposite, but place one another. They have to create this juxtaposition. And that's what the author is doing here. So that's what we're going to try to do. Here is yours, and then here we'll do mine together. So I'm going to think about a topic that I think of this way, right? That is both like positive and negative. So I'm going to think of motherhood. So maybe I'll even title mine make it a little bit longer. Motherhood, because I know you all don't know. Maybe you think of school as this bittersweet thing, right? Thing that allows you to connect with other people, but also, right, has a lot of work to do. That's kind of like motherhood. So I'm going to say, the carpet is worn. The room, I'm going to say, is a mess and chaotic. Instead of they, I think I'm going to have to say something else. So they bend against the grid of electric line. I'm going to say here, toys, clothes, art supplies strewn about the room. I think that's weird, strewn about the room. I might change that. The windows are broken. I might do this. All right, instead of the windows are broken, I'm going to say the crayons are broken by the homeless of the cold past. By, I would say by the kid, by the youth, by, maybe I'll say small hands, because that's positive, right? Like small, like kid hands, by the small hands. And instead of negative here, I think I'm going to go positive because I went all negative up in the beginning. By the small hands and maybe creative mind. I'm going to put little mind. So let's see. I am home. I'm just going to say home on the yard. I am home in my house, but that sounds repetitive, but I'm going to put it down for now, even if it's not great. I am home in my house that spreads mint. So here I have this positive too. Home in my house that, I'm going to use smell. I'm going to put, because smells are really like potent to me. That smells of Johnson and Johnson, right? That like baby smell. Johnson & Johnson applesauce and Goldfish. Because I feel like those are kid smells, right? Like when a kid comes up to you, you're like, oh, you smell so good. And then you smell like what they had for lunch. It's always like apple juice and Goldfish or something. Takes into the Ravage tree. I'm going to put permeates. I don't know why. Permeates into the, see, it has this positive lilac trait, but that's this negative ravaged. So permeates into the, I'm going to say broken furniture. I don't know, that's not positive. Yes, I spelled it wrong. Yes, yeah, that's what I meant. Into the broken furniture and maybe shining toys. Because isn't that the case? Like my house looks like my furniture is 100 years old because kids do it, but then there's this like shiny little play kitchen that looks so nice next to it. Okay, the black bulk of plastic lies about. I'm going to talk about the kitchen here. The shiny pink kitchen. I could keep plastic, but I'm not going to. Stand. So instead of lies, I'm going to say stands because I'm trying to use a strong verb too. Kitchen stands next to the old worn Borders chairs. My husband and I have these chairs that we actually love, but they're like cast off from Borders, which is an old chain like Barnes and Nobles. They were getting rid of them in the dumpster and we took them. And that was, 20 years ago. But I actually love the chairs, even though they look like trash. They're so comfortable. The shiny pink kitchen stands next to an old worn Porter chair, stopping unwanted weeds for the landlord. I feel like this is like an extended metaphor she's doing, and I wasn't able to do that because I'm not a fantastic poet. I'm a learning poet. The shiny pink kitchen stands next to old worn Porter's chairs, stopping unwanted weeds for the land. I'm not going to say stopping. I'm going to say shiny pink stands next to old worn Porter chairs. I'm going to say drawing two worlds together. Because what I'm trying to get at is like, I had this world before children that is like you see relics of it in my house. But then as you have children, those, are relics. Drawing two worlds together. Maybe I should put like a dash before and after. Now, if this was prose, I'd say like mine before kids and mine after. But in poetry, we more just leave it a bit more there, and then you have to kind of draw those inferences. Okay, tatter the sea tree. Have I used worn? Oh, I did use here, except it's word. Worn. So tattered. The cedar tree. I'm going to put like my blankets. So I'm picturing my living room right now, and that's really helpful for me as a writer to really put myself there. So tattered. The red blanket is the red blanket, say, curls the side of the couch, hiding its holes. I need new blankets. The unwanted spreads by the power of neglect. The old taken over by the new, which is how I feel like kids. The wear of traffic says we're out of time, must hurry. The wear of traffic says we're out of time. So this isn't me necessarily, and what I'm going with my theme of this idea. I think I want to go more positive here and then negative with this last sentence. So I'm going to say, instead of the wear, I'm going to say the new with its bright face of hope. I want to say something like it makes the old seem even older. With its bright face of hope shines on the, I know I have tattered, but I'm going to put it there right now. Okay, on the, instead of tattered, what could I use? Here, the new with its bright face shines on the, let's say, with its bright face shatters on the worn. I'm going to say life, right? Because that's what I'm talking about, like life and how it ebbs and flows, especially with kids. You see that life, the day extends. I wanted to say a new dawn, a new hope, but like I'm pretty sure that's like a Star Wars movie. Day extends, so I won't. A setting sun of darkness to, I want to say like create the new sunrise or something. The setting sun and darkness give way to new light. We'll do that. Because I have this idea of like bright light. I think that's okay. The shiny pink kitchen stand. I think this is okay. All right, I'm going to leave mine here. So you go ahead and finish your poem of the day, and I will love to see what you do.